So Arsenal have announced that we've signed Trossard, and Fabrizio has also announced that we've signed some brother from Poland. And to be honest, what do I really have to say to that? I think starting off with the Trossard deal, I think that is a fantastic deal. We did a little bit like a Liverpool signing where you get a good player from like a lesser club and just build him from there. You see that with what I did with Jota and Sadio Mane. Bro, I think this is a good signing. He's Premier League proven. He'll come in ready, fam. And, you know, he's great in the box. He's got a good goal contribution this season. And, of course, his entire Premier League status, you know, his whole Premier League career. I think it's a win-win situation, bro. I'll be honest. We got him for what, 20 million plus some add-ons? Like, I can't see any reason why Arsenal fans should be pissed off. I mean, yeah, I get it. He's not the fucking, you know, the traditional big name, you know. Now, Arsenal were looking for that big name signing. But at the same time, bro, did you not know who Mudryk was, fam? Let's have it right, fam. I know he did this thing against Celtic in the Champions League, but, bro, before that, fam, when we were linked to him in the summer, no one was really blinking an eye like that. Do you get it? But obviously now, because we were really heavily linked to him, we were willing to bid nearly 100 million for him, and obviously Chelsea were bidding 100 million. Like, that's what hyped it up. But really and truly, if you look at his record, man scored 9 goals, fam, in his whole senior career. Like, I'm not going to go off and say it's going to be a flop. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not a bitter person, do you get it? But at the same time, you know, if you're thinking about where we are right now, in terms of how we're trying to challenge for the title, we don't really have a time, you know, for players to settle, you know, and it is a short-term deal. I know he's signed like, I think it was a 4-year contract for 90k a week, you know. It's not like a long-term planning, of course not. He's 28, but, you know, especially how, you know, the Polish guy that we've signed, he's 22, which I will get onto in a minute. But, like, it makes sense, fam. Like, it really does. And I don't have any objections to it. I literally actually said, you know, when I was seeing links with Zaha, I was like, nah, big man. I actually said it in my video. Going back and watch, I said, Trossard, I'll ever have trusted him Zaha, fam. And I would, bro. He's even younger than Zaha. I actually didn't realise that Zaha's actually 30, fam. Hella long, fam. You know, we're not going to offer him a 4-year contract. That's just not happening. Because he would not accept a 2-year contract. Just wouldn't. So I have no objections to this at all from Arsenal. I think it's a great business deal. Like I said, a win-win situation. We've got a Premier League proven player. You know, he's comfortable at the league. I have no problems, bro. He can play left, right, all across. You know, he can actually play as a false nine as well. Great with both feet. I think he's predominantly left-footed. But he's great with both feet. Like, what else do you need, fam? You know, you got a great backup to Saka, because he's not going to start the game. He's not starting. He's not a starter. But, you know, that's what you have a bench for. That's what you have a squad for. So, I think he'd be so helpful in the Europa League. I think that's what Arteta's mindset is, actually. Obviously, top in the league, don't get me wrong. But I think he's literally thinking about the Europa League because he wants that European trophy, fam. And I don't see why not. I think he'll be a tremendous help. I think he'll be a really big help for the Europa League. So yeah, I mean, great deal from the boys. And you know what? Like I always say, fam, I have so much trust in Arteta, fam. Like, if he is the guy if he is the guy that Mikel Arteta wants, then I'll back it, because I haven't seen anything to suggest otherwise. Yeah, obviously Willian and fucking Lokonga, you know. But other than that, fam, you know, what's that? 9 out of 10 times, fam, he's gotten it right, fam. You know what I mean? Like, all of our players that he's signed now have increased in value, basically. Like, it's hella mad, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, Odegaard, you know, he was bought for 30 million. Now he's probably like an 80 million pound player. Do you know what I mean? You know, fucking Ramsdale, he bought for 30 million. Now he's probably worth 60 million. You know what I mean? Like, thinking about Ben White. Ben White, we bought him for 50 million. That guy's worth 100 million, fam. You guys already know how much I rate Ben White, fam. You lot don't understand who we have, bro. That guy, honestly, Ben White, I can't speak more highly of him, bro. He's such a good player. He is a world-class player, and you guys will never understand how. You will see it. You will see it. I have absolutely no doubt Ben White, and he's now worth 100 million. I don't care what people say. Ben White is a £100 million player. You can't convince me otherwise, honestly. And yeah, like, basically what I'm trying to say is that Mikel Arteta's getting it right most of the time. And, you know, I'd rather have a manager that gets his signings right 99% of the time than a manager that gets his signings 50% of the time. You know? So, yeah. Welcome, Trossard, to the boys. You'll be wearing number 19. And apparently, we got his paperwork done in time so he can be involved in the United game. I can see him coming on the bench and scoring, but big man thing, fam. Big man thing, bro. I really can. Not that we will need him, because I think we'll beat United 3-0. Like, I really do. They need massive humbling. I'm hearing Ten Hag say, we've beaten you them before. Without Casemiro, we can beat them again. Big man, we didn't even have Partey, fam. We weren't even cooking at that point of the season, fam. This point of the season, Arsenal are cooking, fam. Cooking. It's going to be hella peak for United, fam, on Sunday. Can't wait for them to get humbled, fam, at the Emirates. Talking about title charge, fam. Technically, yes, they won the title race because of the points, you know, in comparison to both teams. But come on, bro. Style of play, players, it's not even close, fam. Big man thing. But yeah, talking about the Europa League, actually, we signed another defender. And most importantly, a left-sided defender. And I can't tell you, I don't know this brother's name, because it's a T or something. I'm so sorry. Like, obviously, I will come to learn it, because now you've joined the boys. So don't worry about that. But I can't tell you how important that signing is, bro. Like, we have no left-sided centre-back. We don't. We learned that problem out. He was a left footer. Yes, Tommy Yasu can play in that left centre-back, but he's not a predominantly left footer. Do you know what I mean? And Gabriel, you know, he's actually had a good injury record. You know, I don't think he's ever been injured, and he's played every single minute of the Premier League, and I think every single minute since the restart of the Premier League after the World Cup, and he's been absolutely monstrous, bro. Like, literally, probably been our best defender if we're actually being honest and, you know, with our level headers about Saliba. Like, he has been the best centre back, in my opinion. Absolutely amazing, and we can't have him play every game. You know, he's quite young as well, bro. Like, the guy is still 24. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, you can't be putting that much in a young man's legs like that, fam. So, you know, we brought him in now. He's a left side centre back. Can cover him in the Europa League. I'll be really excited to see how he plays. I've seen some of the comps already. You know how Arsenal fans are on Twitter, fam. Always getting the comps ready, fam. Love my people, then, bro. But from what I'm seeing, he kind of has like kind of Ben White driving mentality. He just takes the ball and just drives. I like that in the player, man. I like that. It shows intent, but, you know, gives us great options on forward. And also, he's monstrous in the set plays as well, fam. You know, tall, dominant in the air, bro. It's literally carbon copy of Gabriel, fam. Megalesh, big man thing. I have no problems with it. I think we're signing for 20 million euros. And probably converts about 15 million pounds. What's that? So we're about to drop 95 million, yeah, on Mudryk. When we just spent what, a quarter of that. Like, it's amazing, fam. It's just, you gotta rate the boys, man. You really gotta rate the boys. You gotta rate Eddie. You know, I came on here when we lost out on the Mudryk deal, and I was kind of pissed at him. You know what I'm saying? More to the fact that, you know, it was very clear that we wanted him and how far we're gonna go from didn't get him. But at the same time, you know, there's many times when Arsenal haven't gotten their main targets. I'm thinking about the Andrea Martinez. I'm thinking about the fucking Vlahovic. You know, we've got Gabriel Jesus, we've got Shevchenko instead of Martinez. You know, he wanted Raya from the goalkeeper, and then he got Ramsdale. Look at what my guy's done. You know what I'm saying? He wanted a number of players, and we've been fine. We wanted Emerson. Well, yeah, fucking hell, what a fucking save that was! What a brilliant swerve that was, fam. And then we've got Tomiyasu, and he's been brilliant, you know. So it's not all doom and gloom when it comes to signings, fam. And I want to apologise to Eddie and Arteta, because even though, look, I don't even know if these signings will work out, I trust that they will, but I have to apologise and to them too, because they haven't really given me a reason not to be angry, not to be happy with them, because our signings have banged, bro. All our signings, bar a couple, have banged, big man, and they have improved in value, you know. So big up them, man, honestly. And I'm hearing Camavinga talks, and I was just at work here. Obviously, when you're at work, you're just scrolling on your phone for like 2 seconds, and I'm just seeing links to Camavinga, and I swear down, bro, I got a female boner, fam. You guys don't understand how good Camavinga is, bro. I promise you, the hype that you see around Bellingham and that, yeah, you don't understand how good this guy. Bro, you only have to look at Real Madrid's Champions League's run. Yeah, he wasn't getting game time, but when he came on, bossed the midfield, fam. And when you think about Partey's injury record, you know, it's absolutely integral we get a cover for him. And he's a young player from Real Madrid. You know, they bought him for, what, 100 million as well, didn't they? They bought him, no, I don't think it was 100 million. That's true, many. But they bought him for mad money, though. I think it was like 80 million, though, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know. But they bought him for mad money, he hasn't been playing. Like, that's actually hella peak for a man like that, fam. And he's definitely looking to go out. I think he'll be willing to come to the boys. You know, I think what it is that, in my opinion, is your project has to really sell. And if a player wants to come to the club, you bring him in, and I think he'll be really, really willing to come to the boys, you know. I just can't. I can just see that, like, I can really see that coming through, bro. I don't know why. Like, I have no, like, doubt in my mind that could happen. Real Madrid are not giving him playing time. He wants to, you know, increase his experience. Want to come to Premier League and do the most exciting project in Arsenal, fam. Top of the league, on the way to win the title. I have no problems with that, bro. And I can't see why not. Women just want to sell him. They're not giving him game time. Why not? Why are you keeping him for? We'll cover his wages. You know what we'll do with Odegaard, you know? And, I mean, the only problem is now is that I believe he do really well. When he does really well, is there going to be an option to buy it in that deal? That's another option as well. That's the other thing you've got to think about, is that, is there going to be a obligation to buy? You know, is there going to be a, you know, just something that will make us, like, allow us to get him? Because I think he'll be a fantastic addition to the boys, man. And he fits the profile, young. He's also dynamic. He can play as a number 6. He can play as number 8. Honestly, bro, I have no problem with that. And then obviously, you know, if we get him on a permanent, you know, what does that leave Declan Rice? Because that's another transfer rumour that has been very, very prevalent in the past couple of weeks. Declan Rice, bro, out of nowhere, the Athletic just come out and say Arsenal are very interested in Declan Rice. And I'm just there like, Declan Rice is one of the best CMs in the world. And we do need an heir to the party, bro, because his injury record, I don't think he's as mobile as he used to be, if I'll be honest with you. But he's still technically brilliant, Partey. But his injury record scared the shit out of me, fam. And if we're going to win this title this season, we've got to push on from there, and we need security. And I think there is absolutely no one better than Declan Rice. So the Camavinga thing, if we get him on loan, that's great. I think he'd probably be the plan B if we don't get Declan Rice this summer. That will be my plan B anyway, because, I mean, Declan Rice is not priority number 1, and it seems to be that is who Arsenal are going to focus on this summer. And I have absolutely no objections to that. You know, if it wasn't for the fact, I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for the fact that Chelsea are not in the Champions League right now position and United had bought Casemiro, I don't think that would have been possible. But, you know, I'm hearing talks that he's kind of open to it, fam. And I will be so happy if you got Declan Rice, bro. I wouldn't mind if we get Declan Rice and Tielemans on the free this summer. That would be a fantastic transfer window. I mean, oh wow, that would be really, really good. I wouldn't even mind if we just get even just him, honestly. But I do think we need number 8 there because Granit Xhaka, as much as he's been so good for under Arteta, you know, he's also approaching of age. You know what I'm saying? So that would be kind of foolish, and I don't want us to go to another season like we have this season, to be honest, and be unprepared, because we have been unprepared. We always knew we needed that midfielder or that attacker, and we didn't get that player, those 2 players in the summer, if I'm being honest. I know we got Vieira, but he hasn't really been playing the Premier League like that, you get it, apart from the Brentford and Wolves game, do you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see how our transfer plans are and how they plan out, because everything looks the same. I mean, you know, like, it's how mad how football is, isn't it? Like, literally a week ago, if you literally look at my shorts, you see how I was so pissed, at Eddie, the ball, at Arsenal, for missing out on Mudryk, and not signing any player. And you just think to yourself, yo, Chelsea have spent like 600 million. By the way, where's financial fair play in that? Because what the fuck, fam? And you're seeing, United bought Vegas on loan, whatever. That's not really that exciting, but you know what it is, isn't it? But you know, you're seeing Gakpo go to Liverpool. You know, you're just like, we're trying to bring a title race. We're in a title race here. Like, what are we doing? And out of nowhere, we just get Trossard within 48 hours. He's wearing an Arsenal shirt. Then we're seeing that we're getting linked to, then we buy another centre-back. Then we get linked to a right-back, which I think yet again we will get. It seems like Arsenal are really, really keen on this player. I think his name is Fensenda. Pardon me if I'm wrong, but I think also Newcastle and Tottenham are interested in him. But Arsenal are leading the race, and if we are going to sell Cedric, if we move on Cedric from Arsenal, bro, just replace him with a young, talented right back, it's scary times from the Premier League, bro. Scary things, bro. We're so close to getting rid of the 2 players, in my opinion, that hold this team back, which is Rob Holding and Cedric, man. Like, I just don't want them to ever wear an Arsenal shirt, honestly. I'm so sorry. I know Rob Holding has been a great servant to the boys. You know, he's been there since Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger bought him from Bolton for 2 million. You know, he's been a great servant, you know. But where we need to go is he gives him palpitations, bro. And I'm just happy because if Agabiada's getting injured, he comes in. Holding, and I can't, my heart can't take that. I just can't. So us bringing the centre back in and this right back in potentially just makes me. What makes me happy is that Arteta sees it. You know, there's sometimes like this is the person from us under Arsene Wenger. It's like when you know a player's shit, fam, but you still play him, and you still don't try to upgrade his position. Like, I think about like the striker role, for example. Like, that was just so obvious that we needed to replace Giroud, you know, and we just kept dwelling, wasting time and seasons, fam. Do you know what I mean? And you think about, like, for example, the year that Leicester won the league, and you're like, you know, if we just had a decent striker, if you just brought Aubameyang that time, fucking hell, mate. You know, it just makes me happy that Arteta can recognise when people are shit and not just try to force the form out. You know what I'm saying? It's just not, when it's not there, I always say this, if the Viz ain't there, it ain't there, fam. Don't force the Viz, fam. Don't force it, the Viz is not coming. So it makes me really happy that Arteta has identified these key positions that are weakened and that are weak, and where he wants to strengthen it, because I think he wants to go for the Europa League as well, like I said. And, you know, when Bremo and Tomiyasu are not playing, you know, this right back, I don't know, he's quite raw, but maybe he might have a little go in the Europa League, if we get him, that is. Fabrizio has said that talks are ongoing and there are going to be meetings next week in London taking place, or in England, because also Newcastle's also involved in that. But I'm excited, man. I'm really excited to see where this transfer window takes us, how many players we buy, who we get in by the 31st. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all of that. And I'll see you guys in a bit. Take care.